A very good day to you, and welcome back to the show. I am Jamie, and this is, of course, the Chat Wrap on Relax Radio, where we talk to you about all things interesting. Now, if you want to be a part of the show, it's super simple. All you gotta do is go ahead and call me up on 07852 or you could very simply get in touch with us via our social media. Now, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, if there's something that you want to share with us, you could most definitely do that by heading on over to Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Periscope, whatever it is, all forms, basically all platforms of social media. We are there and we go as Relaxed Radio. And that is spelled Relaks because we have no X in Relax, okay? We're all about positivity. So if you want that extra dose of positivity in your day to day life, together with so much valuable information and conversation, all you gotta do is make sure that you be a part of this journey here with us at Relax Radio. Now, if you're listening to us on our social media, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button as well. Make sure that you leave a comment down below so that I know you are liking what we're talking about. Or even if you don't like what we're talking about, that's completely fine as well. We just want to know your thoughts and opinions about what we're talking about. I want to say a big thank you going out to every single one of you that have been a part of the show so far. It's definitely such a pleasure to have you on board. We got Sam and Patrick is always listening in. We got Aminul who says, good program, like it. Thank you so much, Aminul. It is such a pleasure to have you on board and listening in. And also we have somebody that says it's really warm. Oh my goodness, I know if you live in London, you know that the temperature and the weather in general has been fluctuating so fast, and it's just crazy. Okay, so we'll be talking about that just in a bit, but right now I want to talk about something very, very interesting and something that you most definitely need to know, and that's with regards to how the visa rules post Brexit in the UK are asked to be relaxed. Okay, so basically what's happening is that business leaders are essentially calling for a relaxation of post Brexit visa rules, and industry bosses are saying that retailers are going to struggle to keep shelves stocked at Christmas. Keep aside Christmas, people are going to struggle to just keep their shelves stocked even before Christmas amid this worker shortage that's happening not just in the UK but throughout most of the developed world actually. And I think the government is definitely under pressure to relax post Brexit migration rules to unlock. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is just my opinion, and you could not agree with me as much as you want, and that's okay. But I genuinely think that we are facing one of the worst supply chain crises since the 1970s. Okay, we've had such a shortage of workers, especially if you're living in London, if you're living in the UK, you know how short of workers we are, and so many industry leaders are saying, "Look, the situation is dire. We have a really bad supply chain crisis in the UK, in Britain actually, and the government needs to start doing something about it." And of course, according to all of these industry leaders, according to all of these industry bosses, they're saying that the post-Brexit migration rules need to be relaxed, right? Now, this again is, I believe, the correct way to go about it as well. We are having a worker shortage, and the only way we can rectify that is through making sure that the migration rules aren't as severe as they are now. So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think that in Britain specifically, and around the world as well, do you think that migration rules need to be declined just a little bit, or eased up is the better word? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Go ahead and let me know by leaving a comment down below and hitting that thumbs up button as well. Now, moving on into that conversation specifically, apparently the industry estimates put the shortage of workers needed to drive lorries, to handle the goods in warehouses and workplaces, to do little things. And these might seem very inconsequential. These might seem very trivial things like, picking up fruit and vegetables and driving the goods and driving all of these retail products from place A to place B might seem very trivial, might seem very inconsequential jobs, right? But at the end of the day, for you to get your fruit fruit and vegetable to your home, for you to get any retail product, you need all of these little, you need all of these little jobs to line up basically. And that's not happening right now because of the worker shortage. And company bosses and trade groups are now warning that if ministers in Britain basically refuse to allow more EU workers into the UK, they are going to risk a deeper crisis this winter. So that is definitely something that's really scary. And I genuinely think that the government needs to start taking this a little bit more seriously. What's more interesting is I actually read this article by the chairman of Tesco. Now, Tesco is one of UK's largest supermarket groups, and apparently the chairman actually called for more drivers to meet an estimated 100,000 shortfall. This is for one company, okay? This is just for the Tesco, and they're saying that they're facing about 100,000 worker shortage when it just comes to drivers, okay, truck drivers, lorry drivers, or whatnot, right? And they think that it's going to be very hard to keep on top of demand, which means people are demanding goods and products and retail goods, but there's not enough workers in order to get the supply chain in order and to meet the demand. So that's definitely something that the ministers and the government needs to start caring about, because yes, there's definitely a worker shortage in Britain, and the only way that this could be rectified is through the easing up of migration laws for the EU workers. Now, that's definitely something that we're going to keep talking about as well. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's actually a good way to go about it, or do you have other ideas? Go ahead and drop a comment down below, or hit that thumbs up button to let me know what you are thinking. With that being said, we're going to head on off into a little break. When I come back, we do have a lot more interesting things to talk about, so make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio.
We've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? Because in a public company where the stock is traded openly on the stock exchange, the value of that stock is driven by supply and demand, it's driven by emotion, it's driven by news, it's driven by quite a lot of variables over and above the actual accounting or total net worth of that company. I mean, we've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? And the company may still have value, it may still be doing quite a good thing. The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday. And what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you've got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be, so that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your objective? Where do you want to go to? And we discuss that in a lot of detail and over most of the meeting. And then the rest of it is saying, okay, in your exact circumstances, with your risk profile, with how you feel about investments and pensions and taxes and where you are and who you work with, your education level or your lack of education or how involved you want to be. There's a lot of variables that we take into account, and then we say, okay, here's a plan. You start like this, that's great. And then we review it all the time. And we say, okay, we need to increase it, we're on track, we're not, this is what is happening. Because remember, when you're dealing with assets, the valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday. And what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100 million. And they're different, right? They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies and then you step up into different things.